Azimut Yachts is a brand with a long history and a fine reputation, but it's not that often that you see a used model for sale in the UK. This is an Azimut 55, and you're much more likely to see one moored in Cannes than Chichester, but that's exactly where we've come for today's used boat report. So let's jump on board and take a closer look at this stylish Italian flybridge. The first thing you'll probably notice about the 55's interior is this bold sweep of glass jutting out like a shark fin. Even though this model was launched more than 10 years ago, the styling still feels cutting edge today. Azimut phased out the 55 in 2012 and replaced it with the 55S, which has even more glass in the saloon. However, you don't feel starved of light in here, far from it. This is a perfectly spacious and airy place to relax. Sitting at the helm position now, and it's quite easy to see why my colleague Dave Marsh described this as like something out of the SS Enterprise when he reviewed it in 2002. All the dials laid out around you in this dramatic sweep, and you've got this fantastic central helm seat, which is very supportive. Performance is pretty much what you'd expect from a flybridge in the 50 to 60 foot category. This model is fitted with the standard Caterpillar C12s, fitted on a shaft drive, giving a total output of 1,420 horsepower, and that translates into a top speed of just over 30 knots. Twin that with the 440 gallon fuel tank, and you're looking at a cruising range of just over 200 miles. Whilst that's not enough to go crossing any oceans, that's still enough to get from here in Chichester down to Weymouth and back again without stopping for fuel. Below decks, the Azimut 55 scores highly on accommodation space, with this full beam owner's cabin topping the bill. You've got 9 spacious deep storage lockers in here, so you can really make yourself feel at home. And of course, you've got your own private access to your ensuite heads compartment as well. Your guests won't feel too hard done by either. They've got a spacious VIP double in the bows, which shares access to the day heads via a Jack and Jill system. Over on the starboard side, there's the third cabin, which has 2 single berths and plenty of storage space as well. And then finally, back in the aft is the optional crew cabin. The model we're on today was built in 2006 and launched in 2007, and in most places you really wouldn't be able to tell, and that's testament to Azimut's high level of build quality. However, fashions have moved on, and some things do look a little bit dated, such as this blue Corian worktop here that you see in the galley and also below decks in the heads compartment. Sure, they're very hard wearing and practical, but the colour is just a little bit garish by modern standards. If that's an issue for you, then it's worth trying to track down a model with the lighter Corian option, and there are a couple of those on the market at the moment. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is a Mediterranean built boat, built with the Mediterranean firmly in mind, and that does have some pros and cons for the UK buyer. Starting with the pros, it does have a very high standard spec list, including air conditioning, a double height fridge freezer and a hydraulic passerelle. And whilst the model I'm on today doesn't have a stern thruster to go with the bow thruster, there are plenty on the market that have that if you're looking for that extra bit of control when you're berthing. Now, moving on to the cons, this cockpit design isn't exactly ideal if you're mooring side to like we mostly do in the UK. You only have this single transom gate for access, and so it's best used on a stern to berth like you see in the Mediterranean. On the flybridge of the Azimut 55 now, and this area really is what this boat's all about. Wind in your hair, soaking up the sun. There's plenty of room to relax and a full wet bar and grill just behind me. This upper helm position is really well thought out as well. All the major dials and instruments are repeated up here and fall easily to hand. In fact, the current owner says he enjoys it so much that he's never actually used the lower helm position. We're particularly fond of this chunky 4-pronged steering wheel as well. On earlier models, it was a slightly flimsy single-pronged affair. However, Azimut listened and changed the design so that it now mirrors more closely the wheel that you have at the lower helm station. The Azimut 55 is very much a designer boat. Once you've fallen in love, buying one is very much a heart-over-head decision. The 2006 model we're on today is on the market through Ancaster for £349,000. And with only 145 hours on the clock, her engine is still in her first flush of youth. You can read our full report on the Azimut 55 in the November edition of Motorboat and Yachting.